Do you have anything in particular that you would like to say to prospective pilgrims?
Go. You can't go wrong. It was an absolutely wonderful experience on multi-levels, from the culture to the spiritual, to the food, to the sights that we saw. The tulips were to die for. The balloon ride with the snow in Cappadocia was incredible. Everything is a wonderful experience that you will never regret having.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
As a person who was fortunate to go on 3 pilgrimages, that they were all blessings. Singly and together, they were all blessings. And I couldn't urge anyone enough to take advantage of an opportunity to go if you can.
Tess, you have often called the experience life-changing and life-transforming. What do you mean by that? What happened in your own life about this?
Well, they were truly pilgrimages. They weren't just tours. And so they have changed so much about how I see the world, and particularly how I understand the church and how I understand my faith. And that means in some respects how I understand my friends.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
I think Turkey's magical. I think in so many different ways, whether it's, our early Christian aspects of it, or the Muslim aspects of it, or the Greek and Roman ruins. Anywhere we were, it was really special. And it is like a whole new world. And there's so much in Turkey in just that little space, You at least need 3 weeks there. And so I would love to do it again. I definitely plan on going back to Turkey at some point in my life. And I've been blessed to be able to travel to a lot of different places in the world, and there aren't that many places that I would like to go to again, but Turkey is one of them for sure.
Thank you.
Pace yourself, go well rested, be prepared to travel and see, and get on the bus and travel and see and do that. It sounds exhausting, and some days it was, but it was very worth it, because you get this geographic feeling of what is Turkey as a country, and what must this have been like in the early days. It's an impression that you cannot get any other way, and you couldn't read about it. You really have to experience it.
Thank you.
Travel light in every sense that you're able.
Thank
And
you.
if you're considering going, go. You may never get another chance or be able to. And it's so well worth it.
Thank you. Maria.
Definitely along the line of life-changing. I'd never thought of traveling to Turkey. And then the opportunity to go on the pilgrimage came up, and the fact that there is Mass daily almost, and in very special places. It's a definite pilgrimage, a definite place that you find that you can go there more than once because of how much there is there. Every time, you can't get it all in one time. On an archaeological level, on a world history level, on a religious level, there's a lot there. And just to learn more of our history as Christians, it's amazing how many of our saints walked those lands, and St. Paul, and just a lot of our early Christian history. A lot of our human history. It's amazing. It's just an amazing place to go to.
Thank you. And? Yeah.
2 things I always wanted to see in my life were the Hagia Sophia and a whirling dervish. And those are 2 things there in Turkey. And I actually burst into tears when we came into the Hagia Sophia, because it was so overwhelming. It was absolutely beautiful, and to be in that place was just amazing. And whirling dervishes are very cool, and they don't disappoint you at all. They whirl, and they're very interesting, and it opens up all these different aspects of the country, the history, and to be in a Muslim country for a period of time gives you that opportunity to absorb some of what's going on and how you feel about that and interacting with the people when you're there is much, much better than reading a magazine or looking at a picture book. It's not the same at all. So you really add depth to your life by meeting people in person and talking with them. And that's what I really found very rewarding and enjoyable.
Thank you.
If you were thinking about traveling and you would be alone, this is a very compatible group of people. I had a lot of fun, met a lot of new people, and it was a great way to go.
And that's very inviting because you're planning to come again.
Yes.
Yes.
Can I piggyback on what she said? I thought that the wonderful preparatory dinners, potlucks that we had were just wonderful, and I felt really totally prepared, at least mentally, to take this pilgrimage. There was like not a lot of fear, so I think that was good, and I hope other folks, I hope you guys plan it as we did.
Thank you. Bob?
And, the other thing that made the trip so wonderful was having Father Tom lead us on it and having such a tremendous good guide that we had, as I did. So that really, the two of them made the trip for us, I think.
Okay, thank you. Teresa, you have anything you'd like to add?
Well, we've taken a number of trips. The highlight, I think, of all the trips we took, we had a wonderful trip to Israel with a priest and 4 nuns, Carmelite nuns. And we had Mass in all of wonderful places that we hear in the Bible. But the second most wonderful was Father Tom's trip to Turkey. And God's blessed us the whole time. I had heard about this Bloom trip, and I'm kind of skittish, so I didn't know whether I would really like being up to those heights. But once you take off, you look out in the distance, not down, but out, and it was wonderful. And then all of a sudden, we had snow coming down on us. The fruit trees were in bloom and the snow coming down. It was magical. It was very special.
On the trip to Turkey, you get so immersed in the culture and you can become very well aware of the Muslim faith, and you see many faces of the Muslim faith. There are different sects and different levels of orthodoxy, I guess, that you really do see a pretty wide spectrum. And so you have the opportunity to really immerse yourself in the Turkish culture and really absorb it. And I thought that was a wonderful way to experience it, not just a little bites and pieces here and there, but to really be immersed into it.
And along that same line, the experience of waking up in the morning and hearing the call to prayer, and hearing that call 5 times a day. And I had read something before I left about the Benedictines pray 5 times a day, and it was sort of like looking at the Muslims, the devout Muslims who pray 5 times a day, and thinking what a rich resource for us Catholics if we really truly did pray 5 times a day and answered that call and changed our lives. It was really for understanding what is a Muslim and how do they pray 5 times a day and what does it mean.
Thank you.
Also, I've done a lot of traveling, particularly in the last 5 years, and from a very practical point of view, the price was a bargain. When I thought, wow, this is less than almost any other trip I've ever taken. And then I was pleasantly surprised at the delicious meals we had, at the accommodations. They were all comfortable and clean and nice places to stay. And the guides we had, Ivan was just the most outstanding guide. So it really was a wonderful experience from many, many points of view, but particularly the spiritual point of view.
Okay, thank you, Anne.
One thing I would recommend is when you get there, not necessarily before, pick up a Koran and begin reading it as you travel. you will find that it makes more sense in terms of the culture, but you will also find that the culture's reaction to the Koran makes more sense to you. So it might be a good thing for you to do.
One of the things that I found interesting is on trips, people don't seem to get along. This one, everyone got along well. Even when there was stress, when people were hungry, people were on a bus for a long period of time, but everyone learned something. Everyone got along well.
Bring a journal and take advantage of the bus time, the downtime, to really write down your reflections then, because that's when I
don't give you any downtime on the bus.
That's right. Well, whatever. At night. Okay, before you go to bed. Journal.
Okay.